What's good, TMG fam? It's your boy Ellen. I'm back with another reaction, man. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute. Listen, man, the next video we getting into, you already know, is Scary Hour. So we're gonna get into, man, the 5 scary ghost videos you shouldn't watch in the dark, but we're gonna watch them in the dark anyway. Don't tell us what to do. Tell us what to do. Shout outs to Noob's Top 5. We're gonna check that out. And then 4 terrifying babysitting stories, bro. Just the fact that it's about babysitting, man. People who have kids, y'all understand. And if y'all have to hire babysitters, man, you might not want to watch this video, all right? So before we get into it, man, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, join the fam, sit back, cut all the lights out, man, and here we go.
Top 5 ghosts caught on camera. The hand is quicker than the eye.
True.
Gareth Williams says that he was doing work on the CCTV system at the parking center for his local airport. Gareth says that while working there, he often found his tools unexplainably moved from one place to another. And workers at the parking center claim that the registers would sometimes start spewing out tickets in the middle of the night.
I thought he was about to say spewing out money. They'd have said spewing out money, I'd have been mad. So I'd been like, why are you telling people? Just let it spew out money.
For no reason, until the entire roll ran out. This footage was caught on CCTV.
Shooting my face off back. Cutting my face off.
A pale little hand seems to literally come right out of the wooden edge of the desk and push an apple off onto the floor. The workers didn't even notice until they watched the CCTV footage back later.
Shooting my face off back. Cutting my face off.
I didn't catch it the first time either because I thought it was going to be where the arrow was. So I'm paying attention to the arrow. But I did see out the corner in my peripheral that did that. But that could be it. I don't know.
Something at the door. YouTube user As Above, So Below says that strange things happen in his house on a regular basis. Hanging lights will start to move back and forth for no reason, and they find objects move from one place to another. And sometimes the door handles just start to move on their own.
Texas. Make sure I'm blocked with Watson. Come see us and get your Texas one.
Thank you for your patience. Thank you for holding. How may I assist you?
Oh, heck nah. See, I was going to say it could be somebody out there playing, but heck nah, bro. He snatched the door open. Not to saying somebody couldn't have did it, had like a string on it doing that, but I didn't see no type of string or anything. Nah, fam, I gotta look at that again, bro. He snatched the door just like I wanted him to do in my mind. Nope.
Now when the video is slowed down, you can see there are no cuts or edits in the recording. So just what do you think could cause this bizarre phenomenon? Keep a knocking.
Nope.
You might have
Nope. That was definitely time to leave that house, bro.
seen Palestinian ghost hunter Assad Khan in one of my previous videos because he's a member of the popular ghost hunting team Woodstock.
Oi, bhai. अंदर ही है वो अंदर ही है जो भी चीज है वो अंदर ही है यार जल्दी कर
But Assad also does explorations of haunted locations.
They should have took that step further, tied him in there, and then burned the place down.
On his own channel. In this video, Assad Khan is investigating a remote location that is said to have been the site of many dark occult rituals.
तो ये जो दरवाजा बंद हो गया ऐसे लग रहा है जैसे अंदर से किसी ने लॉक कर दिया हो शुक्र है बच गए नहीं तो अल्लाह अकबर
Nope.
ये बहुत ही मुझे
The main entrance is locked, but they begin to hear loud bangs on the doors all around them.
अल्लाह अकबर अस्तगफिरुल्लाह
अस्तगफिरुल्लाह।
तो आमिल जो होते हैं जाली ये करवाते हैं इनसे अपना गलत काम जो ब्लैक मैजिक हो गया जो भी ऐसा कुछ हो गया
जैसे ही असद भाई इस कमरे के पास आते हैं ना,
बिल्कुल जैसे वो चीज़ जफ्ती ना हो कि हम अंदर हैं इसके अंदर जाए मेरा दिमाग घूमना शुरू हो गया ये क्या हुआ
Assad and his cameraman notice that the main entrance seems to randomly move as they investigate.
ये फिर से मूव होना शुरू हो गए।
Astaghfirullah.
And with just a knock, the previously locked door just pops open. Assad decides to check inside, and it didn't go well.
ध्यान से असद भाई थोड़ा।
Is it me or do a lot of these places, are they starting to look alike? Like they all be going to the same place? That's what I'm getting the feeling, man.
Allahu Akbar. Astaghfirullah.
अस्तगफिरुल्लाह। असद भाई क्या हुआ?
चीज़ खड़ी है सामने रिकॉर्ड होती है एकदम से मेरी तरफ आई है बिल्कुल वाज़ेह चीज़ मैंने अपनी आंखों से देख ली है बिल्कुल आगे खड़ी है मैं आप दोस्तों
Assad gathers his courage and returns to check again.
When you gotta bend over and put your hands on your knees, take a deep breath. Yeah. Gotta build back up that courage.
अल्लाहु अकबर। अल्लाहु अकबर। असद भाई क्या हुआ?
ये लगी यार फिर बाजू जैसे पहले मेरा बाजू खींचा गया एक दफा यार पीछे भी लग गई बिल्कुल वैसे
ज्यादा तो नहीं चोट आई है असद भाई?
वैसे क्या
Yeah, go ahead back. You want some more? Go ahead back.
लगी यार
Go ahead.
Assad claims that something inside grabbed his arm and hit him in the back. But yet he still goes back again to investigate the room.
Allahu Akbar. Wait.
And the third time is definitely not the charm. Assad and his cameraman finally decide to just call it quits and get out of there.
इधर लाइट करें यार बस छोड़ दें दोबारा फिर आप दोस्तों को बता दीजिए दोबारा फिर वो चीज़ बिल्कुल हवा में
You're a better man than me. After the first time, I wouldn't go back, let alone 2 more times after that, just to keep running. Nah.
हवा के अंदर लटकी हुई वो चीज़ दोबारा फिर रिकॉर्ड हुई है
Nope.
So did Assad Khan catch an angry ghost on camera? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide. Back to school. Reddit user Bartholomew Blackwell says that he was recently doing some maintenance work in a closed down school. when he began hearing strange sounds. He pulled out his phone and captured this.
Oh, heck nah.
Now the sound has most Reddit commenters stumped. Some have guessed that the noise could be anything from the wind blowing under doors to noisy pipes. But no one knows for sure. However, one thing that all of the comments seem to agree on is that the unexplained noise in the empty school is absolutely chilling.
I agree. Who works in a school anyway those type of hours, man? Why are you there? Why you can't do it during school hours? Like daytime? Nope.
That's not a person. Now, not much is known about this next video. After extensive researching, the only info that I could come up with is that the video is said to be from a security camera in a hospital waiting room in Peru.
Estoy viendo, ¿la ves?
Ay, Ricardo se va a morir. Galarza se va a morir.
No sabe lo que estaba allí. Y yo he estado ese día toda la tarde acá viendo televisión, viendo partidos, tal, pero...
Galarza se va a morir sabiendo que está metido ahí. Es una persona. Es una persona. Es una persona. Que atraviesa y se queda ahí. Ahí sigue todavía. Yo lo veo. Ahí sigue. Y de ahí se va. De ahí se va, como que si se escondiera, pero de ahí se va.
¿Me lo puedes mandar a mi WhatsApp?
Claro.
Mándamelo.
Something that seems to be slowly changing shape floats out of an open office. It continues into the hospital waiting room, and then just sort of disappears behind the chairs. Now, perhaps the most compelling part of this video is that the woman watching the CCTV seems to be a die-hard non-believer. She just keeps repeating, "It's a person. It's a person."
Es una persona.
That small of a person?
Es una persona. Que atraviesa y se queda ahí. Ahí sigue todavía. Yo lo veo. Ahí sigue.
Now, the video is very old and obviously potato quality. But still, does this look like a person to you?
No.
Let me know what you think.
No.
Did you see it? Because I didn't. So after so many years of closely examining ghost videos, I'd kind of like to think that I have a pretty good eye for spotting anything potentially paranormal in a video. But sometimes viewers are watching even closer than I am. Twitter user TheJester220 spotted this creepy little bit that I missed in a featured Franco TV video from over 8 months ago.
Hello?
So, did you see it? Well, I certainly didn't back then, but watch the corner as Frank pans his camera. Someone or something is peeking around the corner at Frank and ducks back just as he turns.
No.
It's so quick that I'm amazed that anyone even noticed it. But the Jester220 did. Now this next
It looked like he kind of noticed it because he went away and then came right back real quick.
clip was not actually in my video, but it was in a spooky video that I featured from the channel TFIL over 5 months ago. In the original video, TFIL are investigating the supposedly haunted Yorktown Memorial Hospital in Texas, and they experienced some very creepy occurrences.
Change baby's diaper, Ellie asked. Of course. was that? Did you hear that? Was that moving? Did you guys see that? I really.
That first one, it kind of looked like she moved it, didn't it?
But Twitter user Kitty Oof noticed something that even the TFIL crew didn't see. In one of the shots in the original TFIL video, the crew accidentally catches something down the hall behind them.
Door opening in 3 bangs. Hello? Is there anyone in here?
Did you see it? What looks to be a dark, shadowy figure seems to be following them down the hall. The TFIL crew didn't notice, and even most of their viewers didn't notice. But Twitter user Kitty Oof did. By the way, before I go, I wanted to point out one other odd thing in the video where a hand seems to push an apple off a desk. Now, I just have no idea what these two guys are talking about.
Chew my face off, man. My face off.
Something about chewing a face off.
Anyway, man, let's keep moving to the babysitter stories.
There was this time long ago that I was in charge of watching my cousin and his 4 friends while they slept over. My uncle was paying me $100 to watch them for the night. All I did was play video games with a bunch of 10-year-olds for most of the night. I thought it would be the easiest $100 I ever made, but things took a huge turn for the worse when I heard footsteps coming from upstairs. We were in the basement still playing video games. 2 of the kids also heard the sounds. I counted 5 kids sitting on the couches, and neither my aunt or uncle were supposed to be home that night. I swallowed my gum when I realized the basement door was wide open. I told them to stay there while I ran upstairs to shut the door. The door didn't have a lock from the inside, only the outside. I called to the kids to hide in the workout room. I shut the TV and all the lights and then followed the kids into the workout room. We listened in the dark as the footsteps approached the basement door, and then the horrible sound of the basement door opening, followed by heavy steps stomping down each stair one by one. One of my cousin's friends were crying. I had to tell them to shut the hell up. I leaned against the door with a chair along with a bunch of barbell weights wedged against it. I listened as the door to the boiler room was opened, and a few moments later, closed. Screams of children filled the room as the doorknob to the workout room began to turn. I pushed the door with all my might to keep it shut. Whoever was on the other side quickly gave up as we heard rushed footsteps going up the stairs. I heard the footsteps right above our heads moving in the direction of the front door. This was before everybody had cell phones, so calling somebody first was...
I was thinking about that. A portable phone or something. Back then, a lot of people's household had portable phones, so you should have kind of grabbed that portable phone and went in there if they had one.
...wasn't an option. I scanned the whole house, finding that the front door had been left open and all the bedrooms upstairs had been trashed. Nobody was in the house, so I called the kids up. A few things had been stolen, but as long as nobody was hurt, we were all happy.
Okay, called the police?
It was during a blizzard in Valley Stream. I was getting paid $250 to watch some couple's kid while they went away for the weekend. His name was Matthew. This took place on the first night, which was a Friday night. Matthew was already supposedly asleep while I was in the living room watching a movie. I got a knock at the door and looked at the clock. It was close to midnight. There was no way I was opening it. Not even 10 seconds later, I heard the sound of 2 or 3 men angrily banging on the door, telling me to open up. I felt like my heart was about to stop. I took a peek through the blinds, and there was somebody standing right on the other side of the window.
Why? 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 Why?
Oh. I fell back in fear, and after managing to get back on my feet, I ran to the kitchen phone first thing to call the police. They said because of the weather, it could take a while for an officer to get here. I was told to take the child and hide somewhere until an officer arrived. They wanted to keep me on the line, but I wasn't thinking clearly in the heat of the moment and hung up. However, It wasn't until I ran through the living room that I realized the banging had stopped. I took a second peek through the living room window. Nobody was there now. I heard the sound of glass shattering from a few rooms over. My knees started to feel weak as I realized they had just broken the window and were about to climb into the house. I had to run and get Matthew. I couldn't just leave without him. Of course, when I got upstairs, there was no time left to run back downstairs, as I already heard footsteps and laughter coming from downstairs. I covered Matthew's mouth with my hand as I ran with him into his toy closet. A few minutes dragged on to what felt like half an hour as we sat there in the dark closet. Matthew began to squeal as footsteps on the carpet reached the outside of his bedroom door. There was more than one person. They came inside. There weren't many places to hide in this room. I was actually reflecting on my whole life, so sure I was gonna die. We heard the sound of a police siren outside, even from in the closet, and then I heard one of the men in the room mutter, "Aw, shit." I opened the door back up as I heard at least 3 pairs of footsteps hurriedly rushing down the stairs. They didn't get far, as the police later found their footprints in the backyard, leading to our shed. There were 5 men in total, and they were all arrested.
Who talk about, oh my gosh, saved. Little kid, man. That's gotta be the worst feeling ever, to know you got a kid with you in a closet and you know they're not gonna be quiet, but you need them to be quiet in order for you to survive this. Possibly. That has gotta be a feeling. Oh my fam. I'd have had to tape his little mouth shut.
I was 15 years old, still babysitting since I couldn't get a real job. This was by far the most horrifying experience of my life. Me and this kid I was babysitting, his name was Mike, were taking a walk with his dog through the woods in his backyard. His dog stopped, ears pointed up straight, and paw in the air. The dog started barking, pulling, and going crazy. He noticed something, and we were nervous that it was a black bear, so I told Mike to turn around and walk back to the house. I struggled to pull the dog in the other direction, and then I noticed what he was barking at. Beyond a big tree was some guy just standing there, staring up at me. I yelled out, asking to him if he needed something, and with that,
"Yeah, you! Get out of there!"
he turned around and walked off. I was genuinely freaked the fuck out. The dog calmed down at this point, so walking back was easier for a few minutes, until yet again, the dog started freaking out about something behind us. I couldn't see what it was, but...
That same man. Same person, man. Pay attention to your animals.
I was worried it was the same guy as before, and that he might have been following me.
Yep.
I was tempted to unleash the dog on this guy, but that seemed like a bad idea. I didn't look back for the rest of the way back to the house, but the dog continued to bark and pull. I did the best I could to run, or at least walk fast. I made sure for a good half hour that we weren't followed to the house, checking every window and door routinely. I thought it was safe to eventually play Mario Kart with Mike and forget about what happened, but my worst fear came true.
Classic.
Right outside the window in the patio, I heard the sound of one of the toy buckets falling over. Turning on the patio light, I could see that a green bucket full of beach toys and balls had been knocked over. There was no way some small animal could do that. The dog was once again going crazy, barking at something. I told Mike to get me his dad's hunting rifle. Maybe that was dumb to have an 8-year-old get a gun for me, but I didn't have time to think rationally. There continued to be strange noises coming from all around the outside of the house. There was some taps on the windows, chimes being pushed, things falling over, but I eventually caught a glimpse of him through one of the windows. He was walking past until he noticed me and stopped. I lifted the gun up to show him that we were armed. He didn't run away right away though. He stood there crouched like some kind of creature, staring right into my soul. He finally walked back into the woods. I didn't sleep much that night, jumping at every small cracking noise. A week later, I got a call from Mike's parents. They told me a creepy-looking man had been stalking their house from the woods. They asked me to describe what the man that I saw looked like again. I couldn't give a good description as I didn't see much of his face, but I assured them it was the same man. They practically begged me to babysit on a few occasions after this, but I always respectfully declined.
No.
That was a while ago, and I have no idea what's become of this family today.
No, absolutely not. Hell no.
And what's become of the man stalking their house.
You think I'm about to babysit for you? You got weird dudes all around? Nah, fam. Nope. Nope. I don't care how much money you throwing at me. Ain't gonna do it.
I would frequently babysit back between the ages of 15 and 18. I lived close to a relatively wealthy area where people were more generous in terms of pay. There was never a shortage of need for babysitters either, so I made a decent amount of money. I've definitely had to take care of some stranger kids, but this one takes the prize. Right from the moment I met Michael, he seemed really quiet and weird. He was 12 years old too, which some might argue is more than old enough to be home alone, but maybe not overnight. They needed me to stay overnight. His parents told me he could be a bit strange sometimes and may need some extra attention. I didn't really need to do much though. In the room that I would be sleeping in was a huge toy closet, big enough to fit a big Lego play table with a bunch of Legos and other toys sitting on top of it. Michael was up there for most of his time building with Legos and other toys. I didn't really spy on him too much, I just let him do his own thing. But I heard him constantly talking in there, as if someone were with him, not play talking. I could only assume he had some kind of problems, and that's what his parents were hinting at. He came down eventually to eat some of the leftovers in the fridge, but then went right back up to his closet. It wasn't until I finally told him it was time to go to sleep that he left the closet. I just wanted to go to sleep myself. Sometime in the middle of the night, I woke up to sounds coming from the closet. Sounds of toys, like Legos. I called out to Michael to go to sleep. The sound stopped. The light wasn't on in the closet, so I was confused as to how the hell he could be playing in the dark. I went over to open the closet and turn the light on. Michael didn't seem to be in there. I dismissed the noises. I wasn't a paranoid person. I fell back asleep. I'd say an hour later, I woke up to partial brightness in the room. The closet light was on, but the door was shut. I called Michael's name again. I was pissed now. I saw the outlines of feet at the bottom of the closet door, and then heard a little giggle as if Michael were messing with me.
Oh, no. No.
I knew he was in there now. I marched over and threw open the door, and literally fell back in horror when nobody at all was in there. Where the two outlines of feet were, there was nothing now. I felt a pain in my chest.
See, I would have been this type of babysitter. I'd have called the parents. Hey, your kid's at the house by itself. You better get there as soon as you can. There's some stuff going on.
Just from the fear. I ran to Michael's room to find him asleep in his bed. I locked his
Okay, I'd have took him with me then. If he wouldn't have been in that bed though.
Door and laid down on his floor. Just being next to another person made me feel a little safer. I fell asleep on the floor, and when the parents returned the next day, I decided to keep quiet about what I witnessed. I say what I witnessed because I know what happened. I got paid and left, and never had to worry about it again. Of course, it still sends chills up my spine thinking about it, and I still have no idea what to believe.
I can't even believe they ain't say nothing. How would you feel if something would have happened to the kid? You'd have had to live with that on your conscience that you never said anything. But I'm pretty sure they knew what was going on in their house. They just chose not to tell him. They probably lost several babysitters and people don't want to come back. So they probably really needed him. That's why they kept it from him. But I guarantee them parents knew, man. They had to have known. You don't just, that ain't just randomness right there. All right, so y'all get at me in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think, man. Leave a like, share the video, subscribe. 5 scary ghost videos you shouldn't watch in the dark, along with 4 terrifying babysitter stories, man. I don't know. Y'all let me know, though. It's your boy L. I'm out. Peace. Y'all stay solid. Hey.